Bitcoin down nearly $4,000 in the last 7 days. Good credit home buyers now going to be forced to pay more for their houses. And the last thing, how many XRP tokens do you need to have to be considered one of the elites? Tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out. Hey guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. If you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can, and I definitely need your guys' help. Today's going to be Saturday, April 22nd. The total market cap for all cryptocurrency is $1,167,000,000,000. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $27,544. Ethereum $1,867, and XRP right now at 46.74 cents. If we look at our 7-day chart right now, Bitcoin is going to be down nearly $4,000 in the last 7 days. Was trading upwards of $30,360, and right now at $27,549. So we did see a massive decline. This was due to liquidation. So a lot of people were longing and shorting the markets, and when they got liquidated, Bitcoin got hammered as well as the rest of all cryptocurrencies. We did have a market cap of a little over $1.25 trillion, but have since trended down about $100 billion. But it was to be expected. We had a nice run up in the last month, so that's always going to happen. Looking at our crypto bubbles, our biggest gainers and losers on the day, XRD is going to be up 22.6 cents. Woo is going to be up 10.9%. This is a new one in the top 100, so it's going to have a couple run ups before it has a nice decline. Again, no financial advice. And then Casper is going to be up 8.6%. So overall, since we are up in the market, we are up 1.21%. The majority of all coins are going to be in the green. But this isn't to say that we're not going to go into the red tomorrow. I posted this on my Twitter account. So my Twitter account and as well as my TikTok account are going to be in the comments down below. So make sure you guys subscribe to both channels. I posted a video about the home buyers. Good credit home buyers are now going to be forced to pay more for their houses to help subsidize those high risk mortgages. So Wall Street Silver comes out and says home buyers with credit scores of 680 or higher will pay $40 per month more on a home loan of $400,000. I saw reports also that could be up to $60 more per month. And then over the course of a 30-year loan, those individuals are going to pay just shy of $21,500 over that 30 years. And I know it sounds like over 30 years, but why are people with good credit, the ones that essentially were taught and actually listened and did what they were supposed to do and save their money, didn't go out buy the brand new car, or spend money on unneeded items, or spend money on things that they couldn't afford, and then you know couldn't make their monthly payments when tarnished their credit scores. So now those individuals are now forced to pay more to help subsidize those high risk home buyers so they can afford a house. But in essence, those are the individuals that destroyed their credit scores, buying every little new thing that came out. And not to say like that's a bad thing that those individuals, aren't deserving of a house, but why are individuals who did the right thing now going to be, paying more for that? This is what's going to shrink the middle class even further. It's not going to help those lower income individuals because they're putting them in a situation where they're going to be, getting a house, and then eventually they're not going to be able to make their payments. The bank's going to foreclose on that house, and then the bank's going to take all that money and that asset, which is the house, and then the individuals in the middle class with a higher credit score now are going to have to pay more again on top of that. So it's just a whole ending loophole. Getting into our Watcher Guru news, Russia prepares to draft law to allow use of crypto for international trade settlements. Russia and other countries right now are ramping up their cryptocurrency adoption. Hong Kong court recognizes cryptocurrencies as property. And this is probably going to help with their taxes and stuff like that. I don't know what their policies are, but I know a lot of things, if they're considered property, sometimes they are considered tax exempt. Russia to create a special institutions to mine cryptocurrency. That's interesting. We're going to talk about nuclear power too with cryptocurrency here in a second. House Republicans propose raising debt limit by 1.5 trillion or extending it until March 31st of 2024. Right now, the Republicans are kind of holding hostage the debt limit. It was raised under Trump a few times, but Biden wants to basically raise the debt limit so he can do a bunch of spending on the Green New Deals and helping climate change and everything else like that. He keeps on saying that it's, going to be there and help for the environment, but in my opinion, the science really isn't there. They've been talking about this forever for the last, 40 years, about how bad the ecosystem is and how bad the, humans are impacting the environments and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Uh, Tesla reveals none of their $321 million worth of Bitcoin was sold in quarter one of 2023. Elon did sell some of his Bitcoin to help Tesla, get into business and do a little bit here and there, but has not sold any in 2023 so far. Um, Fed officials say inflation won't return to 2% for at least 2 years. This is because they're going to keep on raising the interest rates. They want to hurt the middle class, and shrink them even more and then rely on government assistance. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These make up the BRICS nations. These are the individuals that are trying to destroy the US dollar right now, are projected to pass the G7 nations in global economic growth by 2028, which isn't just 5 years. In my opinion, I don't think that this is actually going to happen. I think the United States is actually going to figure it out. By 2024, I think with our next election, we're going to see a lot of change. And this is going to actually impact the financial markets drastically in the good way for the United States and not as so good for these BRICS nations. And I'm only say that because we do want the United States to succeed, because I do live here in the United States. JP Morgan expects US debt ceiling to become an issue as early as May. Of course, they do. They want to keep on putting fear in the market. Tornado Cash developer Alex purchased to be released pending trial court rules. If you guys don't know about Tornado Cash, essentially you guys can put money into Tornado Cash and then send it somewhere. And then basically it's like a VPN for payments, so they can never figure out where the money actually went or came from. So in my opinion, I don't really know how I feel about this. Obviously, the blockchain is basically open source, so anyone can see where money's been sent. Privacy is basically not there. So when a lot of our government officials say that you can't track anything, they've been able to track several different transactions. Supposedly, FTX was able to get just a shy of $7 trillion of their money back that ended up getting lost. How would they get that back if they could never track it? Um, this was crazy. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. If you watch my channel, Paris, they're trying to get rid of their pension programs. And Paris has been protesting about this. They want to basically tarnish the pension system here in the US. We've gotten almost completely rid of it, unless you were considered in the federal government or a state job. Pension programs are basically obsolete for private companies. And Paris is going to see this here and eventually. They want to raise the age for this. And then what's going to happen next is they're going to get rid of it. Texas passes bill requiring crypto exchanges to provide proof of reserves. I kind of like this. And the reason why I like this is because we should be transparent with cryptocurrency. First ever U.S. nuclear powered Bitcoin mining plant announces fully development of miners. In my opinion, this is the best way to mine. If you do choose to mine Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, is nuclear power. Obviously, your average person can't actually get their hands on nuclear power, but this is a great way, in my opinion, for our government to make money off of cryptocurrency. Also, when they say that they absolutely hate cryptocurrency, they had no problem taking all that money from the Silk Road, um, which was the dark web. If you guys don't know, that's basically just a term for it. They're selling a lot of that money from the Silk Road, and then basically going to use that money for whatever government activities they want to use it for. So as much as they hate it, they've been making money off of it. So we'll see what happens with this, though. $100 million worth of gold stolen from Canada's largest airport. I don't know why $100 million worth of gold is sitting in an airport, but I thought that was pretty crazy. Former President Trump says the U.S. will have a big recession very soon. I really hope this isn't true. Obviously, we don't want the American people to hurt any more than that we already have been. Gas just keeps on climbing, as well as grocery bills. A dormant wallet holding 1,128 Bitcoin worth 31.5 million has been activated after 10.5 years. So a lot of people are starting to get back into cryptocurrency, or figuring out that they lost their wallets and then try to find them. There's obviously that one report of some guy who had over a few $1 million worth of Bitcoin on a hard drive that basically ended up in the dump in Europe, and he basically asked the dump to basically figure out where it's at, and he'd basically give some of the money that he gets from it if it's active. I don't know anything more about that, what happened with that one, but we're going to see a lot of new wallets or old wallets essentially resurface. Biden administration to raise payments for good credit home buyers to subsidize those high risk mortgage borrowers. We already talked about that and how I think that's a terrible plan. Bangladesh pays 318 million Russian loans in Chinese yen, avoiding U.S. sanctions. They're basically trying to hurt the United States. How it started versus how it's going. Now, obviously, these articles are a little bit outdated. Right here, though, this was in 2018. Google will ban all cryptocurrency related advertising. And then in 2022, Google selects Coinbase to take cloud payments with cryptocurrencies and use its custody tool. Obviously, we've seen different versions of advertising with cryptocurrency through commercials with like Tom Brady and Curry and Matt Damon. And we've also seen crypto.com arena, which was formerly Staples Center. And then we also had FTX for the MLB. And, I don't really like, how cryptocurrency is taking over these national spotlights. In my opinion, it should just start being adopted. It doesn't need to have all of this stuff, because crypto.com has to somehow pay for the rights to their arena. And if they can't pay for that, then essentially how are they paying for it? They're using their fees that they got from the customers. But with cryptocurrency starting to die off, are they actually dipping into customer funds? They're going to say no, but you never truly know. UAE proposes a bill to create a decentralized economy for its free zone with 100% tax exemptions. Basically, no tax. There's a lot of people in the United States that are not liking the tax system right now. And the last thing right here, French protesters built concrete walls to block a highway following President Macron's pension reform. So we saw them storm um, their stock market. They're building a wall right here. And then also in Paris, just last week, they actually went and protested outside the BlackRock headquarters. Right here, breaking routers now reports that Ukraine state emergency officials are now holding secret meetings with Exxon, Halbertram, and Chevron about opening a Ukrainian oil and gas fields to U.S. companies. Are you guys paying attention? So we've seen oil prices rising. We saw Biden free up a lot of the strategic oil reserves here in the United States. But with opening that, he also sold a lot of that to other countries, one of those including China. So, are we really actually helping the US citizens by giving money to Ukraine? And then now Ukraine's going to say, oh, hey, you guys need oil, even though Biden's been saying, like, oh, we're going to get rid of oil because it's not important. It hurts our environment, stuff like that. It's just a whole bunch of BS, and we're all feeling it. I mean, gas right now is $5. It's $4.99 a gallon right now here in Arizona. I don't know how much it is in your guys' area. Put it in the comments down below. But I mean, we've seen gas prices rise almost $2, a gallon in the last 6 months. Blows my mind. The New York Times just reported on congressional members trading during the banking crisis. They showed how members traded during the crisis while the public worried. Here are a list of the members. You guys can scroll down and view this. And now this is Republicans and Democrats both. So I always try to be non-biased as much as I can. But members in Congress have been doing this insider trading BS for so long. There's also been reports that before the finance committees and the banking committees all received the information about COVID, and they ended up selling before that information got released to the public, and that's what caused the stock market to tank. So basically, they made their profits, sold, and then bought back in at these low prices. These individuals should obviously get taken out of office. Obviously, they can't represent the people because basically they're trying to make money while they're in positions of power. Totally unethical. Right here, this is just showing, Mason versus Lewis post. Drake bets 1 million in Bitcoin. So Drake had this on his Instagram on Tank to win against Garcia. And this just shows the ability that Bitcoin has and all other cryptocurrencies is you guys can use this for various reasons, either to hold it to, essentially make profit, to use it to send to and from, or even use it to make bets. Now, again, I'm not condoning betting, but I'm just saying you guys can do that with cryptocurrency. So we've had a lot of issues going on. We saw Gensler meet with not the SEC. Gensler is the SEC. So we saw Gary Gensler and the SEC staff meet with the House Finance Committee, and they talked about a bunch of things that were going on and with his grasp over reach of power. And obviously, he got destroyed by congressional constituents. But during that time, Brian Armstrong, he is the CEO of Coinbase. He ended up going to DC and talking with members of Congress the next day about centralization and figuring out what's going on with cryptocurrency, showing that there is actually protection and that there is growth and adoption of cryptocurrency that can happen and take place here in the United States. But also the day before, he was in the UK speaking with the finance guy that's in the United Kingdom. And this just shows that, they're going to go, all these institutions are going to go wherever there's clear rules and regulations. They don't want to break the law. They want to follow the law. But obviously, we haven't seen any laws on the books. Susan Friedman comes out and says that there's a direct rebuke by the Finance Committee to Chair Gensler's false claim that crypto markets are suffering from a lack of compliance rather than a lack of clarity. The only entity to blame for the lack of clarity is the SEC itself. Financial Services GOP comes out and says that they blast Gary Gensler for him trying to force digital assets trading platforms to come in and register under his non-existent regulatory process or registration process. And this is really true. He comes in and says, and talks about all the time, come in and register, come in and talk to us. And obviously that hasn't been going on. People have come in to talk to him. He's basically giving them the runaround and say, you're doing okay. We'll let you know if you do something wrong. And when he does let them know, it's with a lawsuit. Suzanne also comes out and says, while the U.S. continues to focus on enforcement instead of clarity, the EU has taken a big leap forward with a sensible, progressive approach to crypto regulation. We look forward to building and growing in the European marketplace. And the last thing is the U.S. failures to adopt clear crypto rules and regulations means a driving activity offshore, which restricts our ability to monitor for illicit and criminal activity, the exact opposite result of what the critics are calling for. This is more of the video of the Paris, exchange where they go in. Um, right here, Biden comes out and says, "I'm not waiting to tackle the climate crisis. The signs are unmistakable. The science is undeniable, and the cost of inaction keeps mounting." So everyone keeps on talking about how the rise of CO2 levels, but the CO2 levels really aren't that much in the ecosystem. Look, we'll just Google how much CO2 is in the air. It's 0.04%. So we keep on saying, oh, the rise in CO2. Oh, the rise in CO2. How much CO2 is in the air? Oxygen makes up 21%, 78% nitrogen. Like, this is the stuff that we're spending billions and billions, and then even the $1 trillion Green New Deal to try to protect. But obviously, the science isn't undeniable. It's undeniable only in the fact that there is not that much carbon dioxide that's actually in the air. That's not what's rising our global temperatures. There's a lot more at stake than this. And basically us spending a bunch of money because our CO2 levels rose by 0.01%. Come on, guy. Like, this is ridiculous. You want to talk about science, actually get some facts straight. 39% of Americans say they've skipped meals to make housing payments. And this is just crazy. This is per MW. And this is what we've been talking about. I should have put this over here with the housing crisis that was going on right here. But they're basically skipping meals. Like, how is that acceptable? How is the American people being able to do this totally okay and the president's totally okay and saying, yes, you know what? we're going to do this and we're going to allow this to happen because these low income individuals with poor credit need houses too. There's government assistance for a reason, and that's what it should be, not the what's being relied on by good credit home buyers. This is only going to stop more people from going into the housing market than anything else. This isn't actually going to protect low risk or low income individuals. This is only going to protect the rich and elite, and then those home buyers who have already purchased a house. I also like to be transparent too. So like a lot of people love XRP. I'm one of those. But I wanted to point out that scams are bad comes out and says, I wonder if Bank of America finally sent a cease and desist order to Ripple, and that's why they removed their logo from the website. So Bank of America was and probably still is a partner of Ripple. They're just not no longer on the website. If you guys want to, there's an article right here that David Schwartz comes out and says he's the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer over at Ripple. He puts an article in the comments for you guys to read, and it was very interesting. This right here, John Deaton points out, and I've already pointed this out also, but still want to clarify. So in the um, lawsuit, basically Gary Gensler talks about how Algorand is considered a security, and this is what I believe is with Bittrex, and says that Algorand as well as 5 other cryptocurrencies were considered securities. But Gary Gensler was promoting Algorand while he was not in the chair of the SEC. While he was being a teacher at a university, he was actually promoting Algorand. He actually says that he's good friends with the creator of Algorand and thinks it's a good technology, and such that basically the application or the app of Uber could be built onto Algorand and use the Algorand token to make payments. So he basically promoted and shilled Algorand, and then now is basically saying it's considered a security. Hedera comes out and says that there have been over 2 million accounts created on the Hedera network. They keep on dominating the market right now. We've had over 7 trillion transactions on the Hedera network. We're just shy of like a billion transactions a month just recently. And it just keeps on going up and up and up. This right here was really interesting. So the XRP rich list revealed meet the top account holdings, billions and millions on cryptonews.net. Fred points out and says you need 248,233 XRP in one wallet if you want to make this list. Now, obviously, the majority of us, including myself, are nowhere near this amount, but it's just crazy that there are individuals that did make this list. There are individuals that have millions of tokens. So when people say that the price is going to keep on going up and up and up and skyrocket, you do have to realize that some of these individuals do hold millions of tokens also. But Uphold comes out and says retweet if you have diamond hands, hashtag XRP. And I do like this because Uphold is the only cryptocurrency exchange that has constantly been with XRP, wants to keep on selling XRP. And obviously they're making money off of it because you do pay a certain small fee when you buy XRP on their exchange, and something that Coinbase has lost probably a lot of customers in doing so by delisting XRP. But I just wanted to put a shout out to Uphold for keeping XRP and letting us have diamond hands and continually to buy XRP as we wish. Thank you guys for tuning into my video. Also, I wanted to point out that I will be doing a giveaway of XRP and Hbar at 200 and 250 subscribers. So again, make sure that you guys do share my videos. Thank you guys. If you guys can invest with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Have a good one.